Picture this, 18th century Europe, a world where art was dominated by men, where women were supposed to stay home and keep quiet, and where a single wrong move could ruin your reputation for good. Yet this French artist didn't just break the rules, she crushed them. She painted queens, partied with princesses, built a career that made her rich and famous, and survived a deadbeat husband, public scandal, and the French Revolution. Let's dive into the wild, inspiring story of Vigée Le Brun. Élisabeth Vigée, later Le Brun, was born in Paris in 1755. Her dad was a painter, and from the second she picked up a brush, it was clear, this kid was a prodigy. Her father looked at her early self-portraits and reportedly yelled, "If there's such a thing as a born painter, you're it." But life threw her a brutal curveball at 12. Her dad died from a fishbone. Yeah, you heard that right. A tiny fishbone got stuck in his throat, developed into sepsis, and that was it. Talk about the worst luck imaginable. Her mom remarried a rich jeweler who was basically a human Scrooge. He wore her dad's old clothes without a single alteration, stole his personal belongings, and made Elizabeth's life miserable. She later wrote in her memoirs, "I hated that man with every fiber of my being." Thankfully, her mom had her back. Even though she didn't know a thing about art, she saw her daughter's talent and sent her to one of the few art schools that accepted women back then. Elizabeth didn't waste a second. By her teens, she was a full-time painter with her own studio. She loathed the over-the-top, frilly Rococo style everyone was obsessed with, so she'd redesign her models' outfits on the spot, using shawls and scarves to highlight their natural beauty instead of hiding it under layers of lace and silk. Smart move, right? Clients loved her fresh, authentic take, and soon she was painting nobles, diplomats, and even royalty. But here's the plot twist. Her studio got shut down for operating without a license. But even that setback didn't stop her. By then, her name was already making waves, and the elite couldn't get enough of her work. Fate was basically shoving success straight into her hands. But at 20, Elizabeth made her first big mistake. She married Pierre Le Brun, an art dealer who swept her off her feet with fancy dinners and invitations to his exclusive private art collections. She was so desperate to escape her terrible stepfather that she said yes on the spot, even though all her noble clients were begging her to run. "He's a gambler, a womanizer, a total fraud," they warned. But love, or plain old desperation, is blind, and she walked down the aisle anyway. Spoiler alert, her clients were 100% right. Pierre turned out to be the ultimate deadbeat husband. He gambled away her hard-earned cash, cheated on her nonstop, and even forced her to teach art lessons on the side to fund his vices. And what did society do? Blame Elizabeth, of course. In 18th century France, a woman who worked, who made more money than her husband, who dared to be visible and successful, she was asking for trouble. Rumors spread like wildfire that she was having an affair with a wealthy client. A famous opera singer even sniped, "Vigée Le Brun paints portraits that cut off people's legs so they can't escape her grasp." Then, in 1787, she exhibited a portrait of herself with her daughter Julie. It's a sweet, tender painting, Elizabeth smiling softly, radiating maternal love. But critics lost their minds. Why? Because her smile made her mouth open slightly. That's it. That tiny detail was enough for them to call her vain, selfish, even a narcissist. Thanks a lot, Simone de Beauvoir, for piling on in The Second Sex. Real cool move. But here's the thing about Elizabeth. She didn't let the haters stop her. If anything, she used their negativity as fuel. And then came the opportunity of a lifetime, painting Marie Antuinette, Queen of France. Now, Marie Antoinette had been painted by every big-name artist in Europe, but all those portraits were the same. Over-the-top Rococo dresses covered in jewels and lace, stiff, unnatural poses, zero personality. They made her look like a cold, distant royal, exactly what the public already hated about her. Elizabeth knew she had to do something different, something bold. So she did the unthinkable. She painted the queen in a simple cotton dress. No diamonds, no frills, just a plain white gown that let Marie Antoinette's natural beauty shine through. It was revolutionary, literally. Critics screamed that it was unfit for a queen, that it disgraced the monarchy, and was far too casual for a royal portrait. But Elizabeth had a backup plan ready to go. She'd painted a second portrait, Marie in all her royal finery, decked out in jewels and a lavish gown, to present to the public. The plain dress version, she gave it straight to Marie Antoinette herself. And the queen absolutely loved it. Finally, someone had painted her as a real person, not a walking, talking fashion statement. Marie said, "All other painters make me look ugly. Only Madame Le Brun sees my true self."
She hired Élisabeth as her official royal painter, and over the years, Élisabeth painted her more than 30 times. They became incredibly close friends, so close that when the queen's reputation was in tatters, thanks to endless rumors about her spending and the growing unrest in France, Élisabeth stepped up to defend her. She painted Marie Antoinette and her children, a portrait of the queen surrounded by her kids, one little one pointing to an empty cradle, a subtle nod to her recent miscarriage. There's no King Louis XVI in the painting, just a woman, a mother, grieving and vulnerable. And it worked. The public softened toward Marie almost instantly, and the portrait became one of the most iconic images of the French monarchy. Élisabeth didn't just paint portraits, she shaped narratives. But then, the French Revolution hit hard. In 1789, the Bastille fell, and suddenly anyone associated with the royal family was a target for the revolutionaries. Élisabeth knew she had to run fast. She disguised herself and fled Paris in secret, leaving behind her cheating husband, silver lining, am I right, and her beloved friend Marie Antoinette. She never saw the queen again. Marie was executed by guillotine in 1793. Her blood spilled on the streets of Paris. It's a tragic end to one of history's most famous friendships, and it's a loss that haunted Élisabeth for the rest of her life. But Elizabeth's story was far from over. She set off on a European tour that lasted 12 years, and let's be real, it was basically a victory lap. Everywhere she went, nobles and royals begged her to paint them. In Italy, she painted the Pope's niece and spent her free time studying masterpieces by Raphael and Titian. In Austria, the Habsburg royal family rolled out the red carpet for her. In Russia, Catherine the Great's court showered her with praise. She painted the Empress, her children, and all the Russian nobility. Even in England, she was an instant hit, painting British lords and ladies left and right. Why was she so insanely popular? Simple. She painted women like they wanted to be seen. Not as objects, not as perfect ideals, but as real individuals. She captured their personalities, their strength, their warmth, their quiet confidence. Her female portraits are full of life. Soft smiles, bright eyes, natural, relaxed poses. She didn't just paint pretty faces, she painted souls. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want that? Even the pickiest, most demanding royals couldn't find a single flaw in her work. While she was traveling, she also got to enjoy something she never had in Paris: true financial freedom. Without her husband draining her bank account, she became incredibly wealthy. She stayed in the fanciest palaces, dined with kings and queens, and built a network of powerful female friends across Europe. From the Duchess of Devonshire in England to the Grand Princesses of Russia, Elizabeth's inner circle was basically a who's who of European nobility. Total career goals, honestly. After 12 long years, France finally let her come home. She settled back in Paris, reopened her studio, and kept painting well into her 80s, until she was 86 years old to exact. When she died in 1842, she left behind more than 800 paintings, portraits of some of the most famous people of her time, plus beautiful landscapes and self-portraits that still stun art lovers today. But her legacy isn't just about the art she created, it's about what she represented for women everywhere. In a time when women had almost no options, no careers, no financial independence, no voice, Élisabeth Vigée Brun carved out a life for herself that made her independent, wealthy, and respected. She refused to let men define her, whether that was her cruel stepfather, her deadbeat husband, or the male critics who tried to tear her down at every turn. She supported other women, hello, Marie Antoinette, celebrated female beauty in all its authentic forms, and proved that talent and hard work can beat even the most unfair, male-dominated odds. Think about it. She was a single mom, she raised her daughter Julie alone after fleeing Paris, a savvy businesswoman, and a total trailblazer. She didn't just survive in a man's world, she dominated it. And her art still holds up today. Go to any major museum in Europe or America, and you'll find her paintings hanging right alongside the great masters. She's not just a female painter, she's one of the greatest painters of all time, period.